This question asks us to select all expressions that are equivalent to 162x squared minus 72. So there may be more than one answer to this question, so just kind of looking at the answer selections, I see they've all factored out a greatest common factor, and the two factors that I see here are 2 and 18. So I'm going to just try to factor out 2, even though it's not the greatest common factor, and see what I get to see if A, B, or C is one of my answer choices. So if I factor out a 2 from 162, I'm going to get 81. So that would leave me 81x squared, and then minus, and then 72 divided by 2 is 36. So I know that's one of my factors, so I'm going to have to select B. In addition to that, I want to see how this quadratic here is going to factor. I see we have a difference of squares. 81 is 9 squared, x squared is x squared, 36 is 6 squared. So this will be a difference of squares, so this would factor like 9x plus 6 times 9x minus 6, and that's because there's no linear term, there's no x term here. So if I think about multiplying that out, what's going to happen here is my linear term is going to cancel out. So I know that that is also one of my factors. So I know B and C are correct answers. I also know that if I multiplied this out here in answer choice A, I would get a linear term. So that's definitely not an answer. Now looking at this from a different perspective, what if instead I tried to factor out 18 out of both of these original terms to begin with? So if I factored out 18 from 162, that would leave me with 9. 9 times 18 is 162. And there would be an x squared, and then minus, and then I got to think about 18 times what is 72, and the answer is 4. So I could factor that way. Now I see that we also, again, have a difference of squares here. So if I think about that, this would factor like 3x minus 2 and 3x plus 2. And of course we still have that common factor of 18. And that's the only way I can get my linear term to cancel out. So what that means is E is also an answer. Now I cannot factor this way here in answer choice D because that would produce a linear term, which I do not have. So my answer choices are B, C, and E.